Since San Bernardino is well known for having a high crime rate, what do you think you can do to ensure the safety of your constituents?
That's a very important topic. It's probably the number one concern. I've knocked on a lot of doors and have spoken to a lot of the residents here. So in my 100-day plan, RoxanneCanWin.com, I talked about the plan for safety. And the reason why I keep it really simple is because I'm realistic. Because the question a lot of the other candidates who are running are not asking or can answer is how they're going to pay for it. Okay, so when I talk about safety, I talk about how we need to expand our neighborhood watch groups. I've started over 5 different neighborhood watch groups and still am active in the neighborhood watch groups. Why? Because the residents can help the police department be their eyes and ears. They can point out when they see something suspicious, when the lights are out in the park. Residents can help and inform the city of that, and it's really important for residents to be active. So I'm proud that I've started those neighborhood watch groups. So what I'd like to do in the 6th Ward is to supersize the neighborhood watch groups that we already have now. That's really important. Okay. Another thing, we need to create business improvement districts, and let me explain why. So right now there's very little money in the police department, so we're going to have to be smarter, work smarter, not harder. And the idea I have with business improvement districts, what they are is this. Businesses, their complaints are basically 2 things when it comes to safety. The panhandlers, okay, and then the shoplifters, okay? So those are their main concerns, okay? So business improvement districts, you pay into a pot of money and you hire your own private security. This private security, let's say there are 20 or 30 businesses in this improvement district. Then when there's an issue, that business calls up security, the security comes right away and deals with those nuisance problems, okay? And what that does, it frees up the police department, so the police department doesn't have to get those calls from the businesses saying, hey, there's a homeless man on my business is urinating in the front. They don't have to worry about that because now they're worried about going out for those Part 1 crimes, which are the most violent crimes, okay? So that just frees up their time. Another idea that I have with the police department, which has actually come from law enforcement officials themselves, is we need to hire more CSOs. So these are CSO officers. They're not police officers, but they're CSO officers who can go now to focus on the Part 2 crimes. What are the Part 2 crimes? These are the non-violent crimes. So your house gets burglarized. You come home, no one's there still, and you want somebody to come and make a report. Why? Don't bother the police officer who's doing patrol. He or she's busy. You call the CSO who comes, relatively soon instead of you waiting 8 hours, 12 hours, or the next day. The CSO officer can come and make the report. Okay? Someone stole your bike. Don't bother the patrol officer because they stole your child's bike. That's a report for the CSO officer. Okay? So if we kind of tweak the police department and just work smarter, I think we can go a long ways and be more responsive to our residents. So when I talk about safety, I'm realistic. I look at, we're broke. We're still broke and still need to maintain services for residents. But how can we do it with the money that we have?